Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Coding for Grade 8. It is the 29th of July, 2020, and we will be looking at sticker art with loops, puzzle 6 to 12. And yes, this is a revision lesson. We've done it before. That's what revision means, is to revisit something, to review it, to look at it again. Okay. So my name is Mr. Paul de Klerk. I am the senior phase coding teacher for STEM Digital School. And I do a few other bits and bobs and ends and tricks and trinkets, but that's basically me. So if you're visiting us on the YouTube channel, you can head down to the video description box below where you will find links to register for our live lessons. If you join us in the live lessons, and for those that are in the live lesson at the moment, respect the chat, all right? If you don't respect the chat, we set it to hosts only. And if you still don't respect the chat or myself and the host, then I just plainly switch the chat off. And if you're downright disrespectful, rude, or swearing at a teacher, then we remove you. So please don't do that, because all the names that I see in here now, I like. I like you all. You've been with me for a while. And I don't want this to become pleasant. This is one of my most pleasant lessons, so let's not make it unpleasant, right? So that being said, video cameras off as well, not because we don't want to see your lovely faces, but because it blocks my screen and then I can't see the lovely content. So I had to flip a coin and decide it's either your pretty faces or the pretty content. So I chose the content, okay? No offense, just it's more practical. All right. So it is assessment day. Ooh, that big word. But there's a word before assessment that makes me feel comfortable. Informal, right? So that means it's nothing to stress about. It's actually, in my opinion, a good opportunity for you to yourself check where you're at. Just gauge. The puzzles that I set out in this assessment, if you can do them all by yourself without any help from a grandma or grandfather or a brother or a cousin or anyone that you know, just you and yourself, you should be fine. Okay, I specifically chose the ones not because they are the most difficult ones within the lessons, but because they ask the specific, or they require you to know very specific things that is not only important for that puzzle, but that is important for coding as a whole. Okay, I told you before, my goal is not to get you to leave here or one day enter a place where you want to use computer code and then you can only code Blockly JavaScript on code.org. If that is the only thing that I have achieved, then in my opinion, I have failed. Okay, good afternoon. I'm one of those people that likes to have the ability to do many different things. So I want to set you up so that you are in a way that if we go from code.org to another platform, it's going to be easy. If you decide you want to start learning or take IT when you go to grade 10, it should be easy because a lot of the concepts that you learn in Delphi, like if statements and else statements, you've learned here. So I want you to have that jump start, okay? So the questions that I have for the assessments the same way. So what I want to do is just show you how that works quickly. So here's our quote again from Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube. From phones to cars to medicine, technology touches every part of our lives. If you can create technology, you can change the world. To give you an idea, the good person that's hosting us, Jamie, he's a gamer and he actually live streams his games, the games that he plays. He has a following of people that watch him play games, right? Now, isn't that a living? Okay, he's obviously good at what he does, otherwise he doesn't have a good following. Not only is he good, he's also good with presenting it, but technology has enabled him to basically create a living, right? And it's the same as what we're doing here. You guys are getting an education, I get to teach, all because of technology. It doesn't just touch every part of our lives anymore. It's entering a stage where it is going to become the biggest part of most parts of our lives, if that makes sense to you. Okay, so set yourself up for success in getting this down, right? Get the technology idea clearly rooted within your way of thinking and approaching tasks. Automation is where it is all headed, and we as programmers will be creating the computational power that's going to make that happen. Awesome. So here are some things we need to know about sequences. You've heard me say this countless times before. You will hear me say this countless times again. And it is the main logical structure of algorithms or programs. Okay, currently we mainly focus on creating programs, doing things. Algorithms, they're very much attuned to do calculations, right? A lot of calculations run through them. And that is, as an example, the algorithms that YouTube uses to decide whose content goes to the top and whose content stays at the bottom. They gather a lot of information. It's known as SEO, search engine optimization. That's what I specialize in. They gather a lot of that information. They process that information, and that gets processed via algorithms. And then whatever the processed information tells YouTube's computers, that is what's going to allow your video to either be ranked on the first page when somebody searches for something, or on the last page when somebody searches for something, right? So those are all algorithms. The entire internet is basically indexed using algorithms. So it's very similar to programs. You didn't miss much. I was away for a bit. What I missed? You didn't miss much, don't worry. We haven't started with the juicy stuff yet. Okay, but so algorithms, they form a major part of the internet, right? So that's basically what they do. We are currently focusing on programs to do object tracking, but this is coming. Okay, so don't worry about that. Repeat blocks, they loop a specific sequence a predetermined amount of times, right? So we select how many times we want that thing to happen, and it will happen that many times. Okay, so these are obviously the basic repeat blocks. We have looked at conditional repeats and so on, but because we're reviewing, we have to look at the basic things again. Awesome, so now I'm going to jump into this. So the first thing you need to know about the informal assessments is this. Even if you're watching on YouTube, you have to navigate to the website that you see in front of you at the moment. As we speak, I'm also typing it into the chat box, okay, /STEM-digital-school. Awesome. I did this earlier as well. There's one W missing. Don't worry. Google is smart enough to know what you mean when you click on that. Okay. So that's going to take you to a website which belongs to Africa Teen Geeks. But not only will it take you to that website, it'll take you to the STEM Digital School page on this website. Okay. And that, when you scroll down, you'll see a section like this that says test link, right? And over here, there's something written in white. I can't quite remember what. Then you need to click on grade 8 because that's the grade that you're in. Then you need to click on coding because that's the subject. Then it's going to take you to a window that looks like this. So this is a OneDrive folder, right? So in this OneDrive folder, you'll see there is a text document. It's a plain Word formatted document. So all you have to do is just check here. Okay, if you're in it right now, you click on that little circle so that you see a blue circle with a white check, and then you click on download. Okay, I'm going to ask you a favor. Please don't double click on this. For some reason, when they set this up, they allowed anyone who double clicks on this permission to edit it. So if you're going to change it, it's sort of going to break the test for everyone else. Okay, so just click on that, download it. Now you're going to have a text document on your PC that looks like this. Okay, very straightforward, guys. I'm not into complicated stuff. I believe the easier you keep things, the better. So what that is going to allow you to do then is if you click Control, or at least tap Control on your keyboard there, right? And you left click on the link, it'll open in a web browser. And it's going to open this puzzle, stage 8 puzzle 5. And that counts 6 marks, okay? If you don't have the ability to do the control click thing, you can highlight this with your mouse pointer, copy it and paste it into your web browser, okay? So that you can go there. Then you go and you do this test, this puzzle, right? So Don't think of it as a test. Just think of it as you coding as we would in the lesson, right? This is just me coloring in because I'm bored. I'm joking. So you just go and do that. Then you take a screenshot of that and send it to me on an email. Okay. And then I do need to ask you, please, very, very pretty please, just type your name there and tell me my name is this and this, full name and surname, and then also the grade that you're in. Because some of these puzzles are the same for the grade 7, some of the puzzles are the same for the grade 9s. So I am not entirely sure who is sending me what, if you don't tell me. Okay, so just to walk through this process again, you go to this link. Even if you are watching on YouTube at the moment, right, you can still join in and participate. You're going to go to this link here, there at the top. Okay, sorry for that bad highlighting, but you get the idea. Then you click on your grade, okay? Then you click on coding. Then you click on that small circle there. Then you click on download. Then you tap control after you've opened this on your computer, obviously, right? So this document is now downloaded to your computer. You open it, you tap control, and you left click on the link that you want to do. You do that puzzle. You take a screenshot, you mail it to me. Then you do the next one. So if you send me 5 emails today, that's fine. Okay. If you take screenshots of them all, compile them into one document and send me 1 email, I will be grateful, but you don't have to go through all that trouble. If you really want to send me 5 emails, you do that. Okay. I am going to look at each and every one. What that means is I won't necessarily be able to give you feedback this evening. Okay. It's not like I have a memorandum that I can just take and say, check, check, check. I'm going to have to go and replicate each sequence of code that you are creating and test it on the actual platform to see if it's going to work. Obviously, the easier ones, I can just see by my eye whether it's going to work or not. But some of them I'm going to have to actually replicate the sequence and test it. So I'll give you feedback on that via email. But I am also going to, from tomorrow, start to review these puzzles one by one in the classroom during our live lessons, starting with this one, then this one, then this one, and then probably Friday we'll do those 2. Okay. Yes, you can compose it into a file and send it. I would be grateful if you do it that way. It's going to help me quite a lot, but if you don't know how to do that, it's fine, right? Just try to get it out to me. That's the important thing. Just try to get it out to me. Okay. The school wants to track the numbers, how many participants we have, how many people actually responded, and so on and so forth. Obviously, that helps us to create and build better systems for you in the future. We are developing an awesome system for this entire thing, and that's why we're running these informal assessments and so on. Okay, so that's enough of assessments. Now we've heard enough of that for now. We'll look at it again right at the end. For now, let's do some coding. Allow me to jump to the coding screen. We want sticker art, so I'm going to go down to puzzle 6 in sticker art. We've done this, so I'm just going to quickly remove the code each time starting over. Oh no, we can't start over, so I'm just going to delete it. Okay. Now, this is not going to work. You know what? We're going to have to do the sticker art from the start because they build on top of each other. I forgot about that. Okay, this one we don't have to do. This one isn't relevant. I think from here, it starts saving the code. Just allow me to see. Yes, so we're going to go from puzzle 3. Okay, but we're going to fly through this, okay? I'm going to start over there, and I'm going to share the link with you. This is an extremely fun one. I really like this lesson. The first time I presented it, I got a total of almost 3 emails from my students in the grade 4 class. Okay, so For which one does it say page not found? The Digital School Africa Teen Geeks one, or for this coding one? Okay, while I wait for Jay to get back to me, I'm going to continue here. So we are going to make this line. I know you're getting a 404 error, but for which link? For the studiocode.org one, or for the Africa Teen Geeks one? For the coding platform or for the assessments? Which one? For the assessment one. Okay, so just wait with the assessment one. I'll send that link again. As I said, I made a typing mistake in the one that I sent earlier. Okay, so right at the end of it all, I'll send it again. All right. So if anyone missed that link as well, you will receive it again right at the end. Okay, but for now we need to run here because now we want to do more puzzles. Okay. So fantastic. Let's add some style by changing the brush using the set pattern block before our loop starts. So we've created this loop in the previous puzzles. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So where we started was with this. We said, okay, we need to move to the center. Now our play space or play area is 400 by 400 pixels. So if we're jumping 200 over 200, that means we're in the center. Or we can jump to the middle and the center, which is the same thing, right? Middle is from bottom, middle, top, and center is left, center, and right. Okay, so this is going to do the same as the 200 over to 200 down, and it'll place us there. Then we want to move forward by 50 pixels, okay, because we have to draw that line. Now we need to move forward and not jump forward. If we jump forward, we're just going to move but not draw a line. Okay, so let us look at the difference there. If we do this by 50 pixels, you'll see we're going to change position, but no line would have been drawn. Okay, so then we realized, okay, we want to do all of these lines. So after we've drawn the first one, we want to turn 60 degrees, and we want to do that exercise 6 times because there are 6 lines that we have to draw. And now they're saying that that isn't beautiful enough, so we're going to change the pattern. Now you need to set the pattern before you start your loop. You can choose whatever pattern you want to. Let's go with the rope. And then you can draw your line in that way, or your little star shape, whatever. Okay. So that is basically what that is. If there was a random option for this, then you would have been able to put it in the loop. Okay, so for now, if you put it in the loop, it's not going to cause any issues. But I actually want to show you something. And this is why I say don't put it in the loop. If you set the color to red, let's take it away. If you set the color to random, that's better. Go away, you little block. Okay, if you click it now, you're going to see it's going to be blue. Click it again, all the lines will be green. Okay, the reason for that is you've set the color here. So you set the color, then you run the loop. You don't run that again. That doesn't get executed again. If you place it inside, it's going to execute that block each time before a line is drawn. So it's going to give you a different color each time. So if you're not specifically aiming for that, good practice is to just rather make sure that when you adjust any settings, that you set them as a default setting for the entire sequence and only change it again within the sequence if you see the need to do so. Okay, so with this one, it's not going to make a difference because the pattern is the same. Now, if you're going to choose the same pattern, it's just going to set it back to the same pattern each time. So it doesn't make a difference. The reason why I'm saying to put it in front or before the repeat is just so that you learn the correct coding habits. Okay, or good coding habits. Right, so now we are going to have a look at this one. Okay, So this one kept what we did anyway. But from your side, it should have something there now. So let's build something bigger one step at a time. Get the artist to the center of the play area using this block. Then use the draw a sticker block to make something appear. You can choose any one of these. I haven't used the ghost before. So there we go. We've now drawn a ghost. Awesome. At least pasted a sticker of a ghost. We haven't really drawn it, but there it is. Okay. Now you need to remember these, these things run in layers. Okay. So as our code runs sequentially, what we tell it to do first will happen first. What we tell it to do second will happen second. Your play area is in layers. What you place first will be first. If you put something, then it's going to be on top of that. So you can see that line is drawn on top of it. If we do it this way, and we just jump back to the center again, you'll see that we're going to draw the line and then paste the sticker. Now the sticker is on top of the line. Okay, so this is how you control your layers on this play area, is by effectively implementing your sequencing. Awesome. So the next one tells us to do something. Just see if it's going to give us a lot of hassles here. No. Okay, cool. So we could have started with number 4. Now use a loop to make more copies of your sticker. Try changing the numbers in the turn and repeat blocks to make different patterns. Okay, so we place a loop in here. We run this. We don't see anything different. It just looks like we drew one sticker, when in fact we drew 4 stickers on top of each other, but it's the exact same sticker, so you can't see the layers, right? So what we really want to do here is just place a turn in there, left or right, doesn't matter, and put it by a certain amount of degrees. And now you can see what happens. We actually draw 4 stickers. Now, the secret to this thing is, if you want this to complete a full circle, then you need the degrees multiplied by the repeats to be as close to 360 as possible. Okay? Obviously, a circle is 360 degrees. So if I change this to a 60 times 4 gives me not 360. This is what happens. Okay. So you need to make sure. So whenever you go lower here, you must go higher there. Okay, obviously, you don't need to go that high. So you can either calculate it. Yes, you can. All right. So you can either calculate this, or you can do what I'm doing now. Take the lazy way and just play with it until you see it does what you want it to do. Okay, some people will say lazy, I might say smart, but that's entirely up to your own interpretation. So there we go. Now you get to play with it to see how that works. The important thing to remember is just when you go lower here, you need to go higher there. When you go higher, lower here, you need to go higher there. Perfect. Okay, we are on puzzle 6 here. So much fun. Now add a second sticker right on top of the first one to make an image like the one below. So here you can see they made the circle and then they dropped the sticker right on top of that. For I don't know what reason, but they did. So let's take something that's going to stand out. Bats and ghosts go together. Okay, so this actually was not what we were supposed to do. That is what we were supposed to do. Yes. Okay, now we've replicated that. We've placed the bat on top of the ghost. Only one. You see, when I put it in here the first time, I was actually drawing them along with the ghosts. But what they want is for it to be on top of the last one. That was easy enough. Now it gets relatively interesting. edit your code so that you jump forward between drawing the two stickers in this puzzle. Make sure you have the jump to the middle inside of your loop so you stay in the center. Okay? Press finish when you are happy. All right. So what we're going to do is we need to place this one inside the loop because now we actually want to draw a sticker each time we drew that one. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we are going to say, before you draw that one, jump forward by 100 pixels. Actually, I want the turn right to be right at the end so that these are drawn in line. Now look at that. So what I can do is make this shorter, the jump forward. And now it looks like the bats are standing on top of the ghost's head. Or heads or whatever. Okay, and the same idea here, you can go down with this again. And then go up with this. And that's going to give you a different look and a different feel. Okay, you can even go down with this one more. And see what that looks like. No, this will have to be a 12. Actually, I want these degrees to be further apart, but you can only choose 45. So let's give it 8 and see. Okay, well, you get the idea, right? So that's what it's doing. So what's happening slowly is the sequence is being played out, right? So you can see how the sequence is run by watching the artist. There he turns, now he goes back. First sticker moves, second sticker goes back. Not moves, jumps, right? And there you see he turns the 20 degrees. I'm lying 45 degrees. Right, and we can speed this up to try and make it go a little bit faster. Okay, so I actually enjoyed this more. There, where they nearly touch each other. Okay, good. You can choose any stickers you want to, right? You don't have to use the same ones as what I'm using. Right, so now they say what happens when you replace both stickers. Okay, so let's just add their stickers. It's the billy goat and the moose. Now I want to replicate this thing completely. So with the billy goats, we seem to be on point. We really do. But with the moose, we're not. We're actually too far. So this feels like a 75 to me. Again, we've got it. Sometimes you can use a browser. Yes. Can just do this. Sometimes you can use a ruler built into the browser like I have here. So I can actually measure from the center to there, and it'll tell me how long that is going to be, right? Obviously, that's not the exact center to here. There we can see 75 pixels on the right top corner, okay? But you can also just, you're welcome. Just send this publicly as well if anyone needs it. You can just try to guess it. Test it 2 or 3 times until you found the measurement that you're looking for. Okay. What happens when you move forward, then move backwards by 100, 200, or 400 pixels somewhere inside the loop? Try using the set pattern block before you start your loop to make your work of art. Now I'm going to go back to my stickers. I don't want these stickers. What did we have on top of this? a bat. Okay, and this is 80. Can test this and decide that's good or not. Now they're telling us place a move forward somewhere in here. So now you need to decide what you want this to look like. We know that the move forward is going to draw a black line. There you can see that, right? So you can either make this shorter and make a funny little shape there, right? That's also something different. The other thing that you can do is to place it, not 10, 100, and then you can jump back by 100. And now your line is drawn underneath the ghost. You can see that used to be white, it isn't anymore. You can now again take this further, and the jump back needs to go further so that you can see the line protruding at the top. What you can then also do is set this to a different pattern to make sure it's not only a black line, but it actually looks like something. This is now assuming that you want the lines underneath your pictures. If you want the lines on top of your pictures, you just need to draw them last. This jump to the center has to be there. Otherwise, it causes trouble. You draw those funny things there, as you just saw me do. Right. So here we can put that in there again so that it's not affected by the 30 degrees. And that is now what it looks like. We run this slowly. Okay, so what we can do is jump backwards by 80 before we draw that line. So now we're going to jump back, draw the line. Then we should jump back to the center before we draw. Okay. So there are many different options that you can take here, right? You can use the rope if you want to. You can place it before the stickers. If you use it before the stickers, you just need to make sure that you jump back to where you need to go. Okay. Right, so add the third sticker anywhere in the loop that you want. What does it look like now? It says to change the pattern on your brush again for some more variety. And I think they give us some ideas here. Let's just run this and see if it's doing what we want it to do. How is it drawing those lines on top of some of the bats? Sticker. That's strange. Test again. Drawing a line, pasting a sticker, jumping, pasting a sticker, turning, going back. Okay. So now we need to add a third sticker somewhere in our loop. Let's take something that stands out properly and see what that will look like. Okay. That's interesting. What will it look like here? Now it's being placed on top of the bat. Now the bats are being placed on top of it. Okay, now we're pasting it before the ghost. So you can see the feet there, but the ghost is bigger, so you can't really see it thoroughly. What if we drop that on top of the ghost? Okay, it's almost the same size as the ghost as well. But that gives you an idea, right? You can start playing with this. I'm going to take that third sticker out. I have to honestly say that I almost enjoy the black, not the black, a solid line more. Okay. Right, so let's see what they have for us next. Try changing the repeat loop to run a different number of times. How far do you have to turn to go in a full circle? Okay. So this is now, just change this back to something that's a bit easier on the eyes. Perhaps that. So here they said, okay, try doing this 6 times, and then we turn 60 degrees, which is going to be 360 degrees, right? So there you can see what that looks like. And then you can change this, obviously, to 4 and 90. You can also do what they said there at the top and set it to 18 and 20. Okay, so that's much, or designs that differ a lot from the ones right before them. And the only thing we did was change the number. Okay, this is going to be our last one. Then I'm going to try and show you the website where you can find the assessments. Okay, now make something on your own. Need an idea. There is an idea. So here they've actually now decided to make 2 different things, and you're placing it less times. So this one you might do 6 times. Okay. Obviously, if you're going to do that 6, you need to go by 60 degrees. There we go. Okay, so you can play with this one and obviously do as you please. So what I want to do now is just head over. All right, so if you type Africa Teen Geeks in the Google search, you'll see there's the website, Africa Teen Geeks. .co.za. Click on the website and just let it load. So if you're on the YouTube channel, this link is in the video description. So you can just go down into that. Just give it a bit of time. It's loading. Huh. Seems like everything is stopped now. Okay, so here at the top, you'll see it says STEM Digital School, right? So you go to africateengeeks.co.za and then you can click on this. Or you can just go to africateengeeks.co.za/STEM-digital-school. Now you just scroll down. Here on the side is the slider you can go down with. And you can see it's almost the second section. So there's the header section at the title. Here's a little flyer telling us what's going on. And then over here you have that section, the assessment section. So you click on your grade and you click on coding. You see it's going to open a OneDrive. Just allow it to open. Okay, so I'm obviously signed into my OneDrive account. That's why it gives my name here. I have a OneDrive account, so they pick that up automatically. But what you need to do is just click there so that that happens, and then click on download to get it onto your computer. Okay, and once it's on your computer, then you can access the links and do everything. What I don't want you to do is double click there, because then it's going to open it. Now you can access the links in this way, but what's going to happen is you're opening an online version of Word and you will then have the ability to edit this, which is not ideal. Okay, so rather download it and then you see that it gives editing permissions, right? So rather just download it and then open it on your desktop. That'll be much safer. Click there and say download. Right, so our next lesson, just take this highlighter away. Okay, our next lesson is going to be if else with B. It is a review lesson as well. We will be looking at these conditional blocks using B in the maze. Okay. Then when you're done with the assessments, you can take screenshots and send it to me via email here to poll@africateengeeks.co.za. We will review these things again tomorrow. Okay. Those lessons, right? So have a lovely day. Enjoy the assessments. They're supposed to be fun. No, it won't give you problems if you're using a phone. You can send it, do it on the phone, and you can screenshot more easily on your phone as well. All right. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Bye.